Hello to my wonderful listeners. One Family TV wala mutanale nan kotenke. Mbadiŋolu ikafo meye ko Omar Wally meya lonko journalist ole mati Gambia banko nin kan bara abe doku wala BBC ye anin DW meya lonko wobe jaman banko nin kan atele moti meya lonko afanan diamuta kola meya lonko wala be kerin ni watin kono Gambia banko nin kan meya lonko wala keda Sukuta Jarbang silo nin kan meya lonko ye police flolta ke bun kidola a diamuta konin na meya lonko wala be sundi wo konin na woto mbadiŋolu alna Omar lamoy meya lonko wala mu Omar Wally na lamoy anin hakilola na kana lamoy anin jusola de abi mem fo kan kuma kan ninto afana ya lonko abala opinional di kan o koninto meya lonko wala be ke
from the government spokesperson to the witness muso men ko atele suspect ni muta kata the press conference nataje ko there are a lot of loopholes there insa fono dal the story did not add up. It's like a Swiss cheese. There are so many holes storing in them. Mbastar learning Mama Jabila. Muso menga fumole ko atele usenu bojang apprehend in Casamas in Jululung. Mbeal mofa how serious it is. But Mama mem follow for akwata ya mwele nunko mole molfa Sukuta Jarbang traffic light in Gambia. Okola ala safola satarot. Mo bota Gambia, that is the suspect. Usenu bota Gambia dada Jululung. But kabra fota Jululung a fota gara so da Jakarta tiyo le nyininga ko Gambia no be muntola sin sambadame ala foro. So wali bulandi Jakarta kono ya samate mama ya andala foro da ko kabla nya boyta kan ako mole ko ninga mata kula wala mkay ay kukuru like instantly usenu kay ko ha ngam mole fa police fula la fa Gambia. So usenu nata fa ko lafte barole kolni Adama Baro president ya kolni Puraye Mbalal. So, this point, Menga Amenso, I just want us to dissect this one properly. Mama, mo Menga lonkaye mo fa, oborta banko kan, atada fo Casamas. Ay nyinin karoke, Gambianol men bebe Casamas, nsafono Gambianol men bebe Jululung. Jakarta drive ma samba moya, bari ya samba mama leya. Secondly, nata jeloko onga melong government pananga memfo wolem ko ila press conference ko this man usenu mu rebelol tino. He fought in the Casamas MFDC separatist all. So nimmo mengalon ko rebelole matino ay kelo kinu Casamas le. Certainly wo na bota banko kan mo menga kuge koma e mo fake. Ngamro beta borla ta rebeloli abenunda because already I train you lonely. But amanta mo moya foitea. Ando ngalan ko well no disrespect but ning moye kuke. Mo me ngalan kai mo fa kanata from turntable according to initial story ngamemwe. Mo mamutano because I kidola 5 nyoko. Mol mem mo mutano at turntable. Muso ete visitor me ngalan kai tele sokon. How can you apprehend such a dangerous person? That is another question. But before that, what we understand, this Mama Jabi, iko, musu sabatero lem atelem, ani Adama Barola sister, ikafo menye ko Maimuna Baro Korka, and then there is another lady called Mama Jane. So ni musu sabo lemu teroti, ni Mama Jabi, Mama Jaju, ani Maimuna Baro Korka wa Barola sister. Nilmu terole. These are the three people. You know, many are long going to lekata. So at least you know the background or musoni in a relationship. So coming back to the issue, Mama manke moti mengalong ka be sabatirin jululung le. Ala foro tata hewolaji. So Jakarta tioli alo nyaadi le ko nimu Gambianol ti ya o Jakarta tioli men baby de yalo nyaadi le ko nimu Gambianol ti ima inata sika ya sama mama be steering dame luntamalem. How do they know ko this is a Gambian? And come ngamen funundorong usenu fana ngalo nyaadi le ko mama e Adama Barrow la contact sotole. Because akala ko ha okay Adama Barrow call ni pra yam fany. Useni alo nyaadi le ko mama e Adama Barrow no mbasole. So mama fana wulte o nyaaldron ako ay korka call wala Barrow la sister. You know. So these are some of the things. So Musonina stories, you know, it did not just add up. Because, for example, ning moebo kuke, let's say even in Zigansor, and in Boro and I put a turntable draw. I got taxi driver le ko alin samba Senegalese yajam. Ala be ko Senegalese jamala be Gambia. For example, let's even say Bruce B akoyeko more crime committed another wrong. Ako alin samba after tonde ba ako taxi driver le alin samba Senegalese ya Bruce B. Man of Falca understand. So anun be alan ko Senegal jamale be Gambia. So ibasi kanu la nyaari le ka samba Senegalese ya mengalon ko onata hewol la Gambia. Membe Bruce B anata hewol la Bruce B. Just an example. Does that really make sense? So this is, I think the lady should, you know, police should even question her, or an independent body should go look into this issue, because a la story dal, you know, it did not really make sense. Because Jakarta will be I've never been to Jululung, but I know Jululung population is not 100 people. Even normal Gambian village setup, akatami mo kemola. So how did Jakarta Tioliade Mamalo? And Adebe such a dangerous man arrest la nyadile. Menga mo fula fa, a Canada turntable, more bemaji. Everybody tried to arrest him at Kilo Fight, according to the initial report we hear. So that is it. So going forward, because I even had to listen to her ala interview I menke, na government spokesperson also Lamoille, and I listened to the press conference. So I just note down a few things here. So government spokesperson in Memphis, I suspecting, you know, was a security guy. Mengalonko, you know, he wanted to kill dozen people, half of a dozen people. Mengalonko mo war or PIU, ako, you know, the surveillance, over surveillance like can PIU less checkpoints and other places and so on. So that is one thing. But like the government also, the press conference, as it was also mentioned there, if what they said, like he was or he is a rebel, he fought in the Casamance War, how comes nim kabra for the Casamance wrong? Adunda Casamance I border cross wrong. Abe borrele, not the mondole, my borrele, because we know what happened with the junglers. When they left, they didn't go to any of their relatives. We are intercorrelated to Senegal. Mbe badung soto jail. Asanto Sade Olembang, a capital Olembang, we all have relatives in Senegal. So, Kabrin Jongla Sol Borta, Honeybees, Mungalone, there were even reports called. Most of them are hiding in Guinea-Bissau. Some of them are in Casamance, fighting in the MFDC rebellion. So we know that. But this situation is a different one. So, Nada Moe Fananko, come like, the same thing them. Ala brother men for come ala fatala abading le call there and so on, but Amanda than in Jululung and so on. But why Mama Jabi? Of all people, why Mama? Police officers they found gun. Okay, he was in possession of a gun. But imafu moleko 4 kidole I faroko labang or not, because in Memphis, they recovered so many people from the from the crime scene, according to what they said. But Kabirin journalists of Ninin Karoke, you know, Kabirin Ninin Karoke about that gun. You can see the reaction of the Deputy Inspector General of Police. And throughout, police let the second Deputy IGP, very arrogant person, try to disrespect journalists. Aladiamo, be careful, information is powerful, information is dangerous. If a man, he's even struggling to pronounce certain words. This guy, they need to watch him. So he was even, because government that is appealing, how do you expect it? You are not a journalist. You are not qualified. Among subject-verb agreement, you even struggle with that. Who are you that journalists will take their story to you to verify with you? All what they have to do is to call, and if they have any information, to call and ask for clarification and questions. But we know sometimes they are unwilling. Sometimes what they do, they write on their Facebook pages. So you want every journalist in that country, many information also. For example, somebody are saying it was a Mark gun, pistol that was used. Like the National Security Advisor, it was a pistol that was, he was in possession of the pistol. Deputy IGP, he was in possession of the pistol long time ago. But they did not tell us the mark of that pistol. So that is something we really need to know. Because if you know Kido level, you should be able to tell us the mark of the gun and so on. And Deputy IGP, he was emphasizing how, rumors, let them not spread false news. Who is spreading false news here? If you don't do your investigations properly, why are you worried about journalists who are reporting? Because if you have a situation where you are not explicit, or where you are not truthful to the public, or people have doubt or cast doubt on your credibility and your trustworthiness, of course, this is what they will do. And journalists don't have time. You are not their editor. You are not their whatever. For you to, this is kind of, Mzafon is more of censoring their story. Journal, come and verify with us. What did you malo start the Gambia? Gambia journalists or stories of it? Kada police ya foka ha, ninketa la phone man. Since when? So, another thing for Mengalonko, people are more by overlooking. Look, Hanekata Polo Niata first time. Jama ne kunobung Mafo Buga for the body, sometimes there is a struggle there. So we also want to know, since he was in possession of gun for a very long time, but how can ill-trained, ordinary civilian just come out and shoot two people just like that and escape and shoot a third person? That must be a very trained person. Just look at this. Let's look at the whole issue there. If you give a pistol to somebody who doesn't know how to operate it, instantly shoot and kill them, because you must not, where I live in America here. I have seen. Well, police put on helmet. They put all the time. Make a is a life jacket because they know that is the most sensitive part. So how can this man shoot? So we want to know. Well, they said they are doing their investigation, but which part of the body lem ningam nil bundaming fire instantly? Because you must be a well-trained officer or well-trained person to know ko ninga carry bunjang. Along kanu kuno niya wadam powder. Most of the time akakatal to man. I'm not downplaying anything. What happened is a sad story. More than 14-year-old. But, and police would also should be able to tell at what proximity. Come like distant mengalong kaini mulbung. They should be able to know that. Because the IGP was there quoting whatever he called Malong, Malaka, Malong, Akafanyan coded words and so on. You know all those coded words, but Nimfela according to allegedly killed people. But Al Mamuta no jam for Gambia is just a sad country. A situation happened at Sukuta traffic light, Sukuta Jarbang traffic light, but somebody had to cross the border first before you can apprehend the person and bring him back to the country. Unless they tell me that this guy is a SEAL officer, like US SEAL. So, like somebody just writing here, the autopsy report, it should be public, because that's true. We want to know. Laftaka aloneko what is indicated in that autopsy report. Because near mo bunga singoto. Ma pada fala, but that might be that injuries, but momenga mol bumpum somewhere. Instantly they die. Rush them to Sukuta and them man for the jere father. That person really he really understand where to get human being. And well, you don't need to be a security expert to know some of this, but I'm not saying he did not do the crime. I'm not accusing him. I'm not saying he did not do it again. But the story is just like a Swiss cheese. We have a problem with the lady who claimed she apprehended the guy. Coming back to this issue, like I spoke about the distance, and which body part, and I think Nata just made mention of that. That is, we just want to see the autopsy report. That is something. And there is one thing that I can say is there is so much inconsistency. Like I said, it's like a story is like a Swiss cheese. It has so many holes. Government spokesperson is going there. And I think the police should even question him for this. But, they are not interested. Because you cannot go and lie. He's lying. He was lying. On a radio, trying to mislead, making unfounded claims. It's a disappointment for even with the interviewer, member interviewer. You call yourself a veteran journalist. Again, you sit there, okay, I don't want to dwell into certain things, but, I don't want to ask certain questions. But, but you are allowing somebody to, because you don't want to dwell in there, because you don't want to compromise the investigation. But this liar, calling himself a government spokesperson, is misinforming the whole public. And you are a journalist, you are a broadcaster, you have a responsibility to put him on the right track, but you fail to do that. There is so much hypocrisy going on in that country. We've seen how some of these people are comfortable, which radio station they go to, and so on, despite their so-called busy schedule. Other journalists will call them, but they will not go there. But there is one place that they are always comfortable running to go there. They will grant their interviews and spew lies all over the country. So I think this thing should stop. There is so much garbage, armchair journalism going on in that country. But they only go after the independent. We have seen how some of the media houses that has been attacked. If this came from somewhere, this would have been a different story. Now, we know Ekamul arrested, giving false information. He should be arrested because he did not only lie, but he's giving false information to the public. Because Memphis is completely, I don't even know how to describe it, because when you look at the press conference, what the Deputy IGP and the National Security Advisor is saying at the press conference, even though they were very uncomfortable, the stories did not match. So that is it. And from within the police, the Gambia Police Force, we understand that there is so much disagreement going on. There is so much, not only about this issue, but, the police, they are not on the same lane. I can say it that way. Because some let me give a scenario of during the Ajamela time. You have General Osman Baji as the Chief of Defense Staff of the Gambia Armed Forces, and you have General Sol Baji there. So, but even though General Osman Baji is the Chief of Defense Staff and this person is under him, but Sol Baji was more powerful than him, who was the de facto Chief of Defense Staff of the Gambia Armed Forces. So it's the same thing happening in the Gambia police force at the moment. Ablai Sanyang is just a figurehead. So it's this guy, the soul guy, the bitter guy, because it's the same guy I had issue with during the press conference at the defense headquarters. That time when the press conference happened, when we wanted to ask question, I think Kosaba, Abubakar Chen, the National Security Advisor of the Kosaba, I don't know. Don't take any questions. We are like, but you cannot do that. You cannot come and give us half information. How do you expect us to go and process that information? So, and the same thing they are doing with this thing. But I think what they should do, they should just go and put their house in order. Deputy IGP is acting, in the absence of this guy. What we know is the de facto IGP. Abdullah Sanyang is just there as a figurehead. I'm having fun from Al-Karukum and Alakum and the questioning alias somebody that's in. So that is it. But I think the government should just they should just come together before Mobile champion challenging the Yalajang. One is sitting at the radio saying one thing, others are on a press conference saying another thing, another lady on saying another thing. I think the lady should also be questioned. So Yalo, when such incident happen, they will just arrest suspects and so on. But let's look at this issue critically. Mama la kuonyantaka jube pool, and I'm gonna call on fellow journalists because you kujamala for ala kuoto ngamelong. Someone even called me this morning and knows this lady. When she left Futatuba and come to Gambia, and I dulal men Bema, all the villages in the Gambia, Jahankola Dinkiral. And I come, even I took men from stealing with Jahankol phone. A Jahanka man was telling me about this morning. So I think we should look at the credibility of the witness. Come ngafo nyamen drum. Momenga mo fulafa. Oba kungle nyine nako. Rebel according to them. So of course, he should go to, if he crossed the border, the first thing he is going to think of is to go back and go to, because you understand the terrain in Casamance. So, William, what government spokesperson is here, and I think the interviewer, so people are waiting, because you cannot just do this armchair journalism, interviews, somebody just come to your platform, because there are so many young people, aspiring journalists and young journalists who are looking up to, and we all know, like they said, trust is a burden, and the most important thing in journalism is credibility. So because journalists only for the credibility that you just pack your things and go home. That is it. So you cannot be in this business for more than decades or so. Like the saying goes, trust comes on foot, but lives on horseback. So small things, some of these small things many along go, our people are doing. Some of these broadcasters, so-called veteran broadcasters, are doing. They are not doing justice to the public. Yes, we know you want advertisement from them, but have integrity. Governments will come and go, but Gambia will remain. And like they always said, during William Shakespeare's time, the evil men do live after them, but now the evil men do live with them. We have seen how some media owners are behaving in this country. They flouted the ethics of the profession. We know, because you just want to get advertisement to be on air or to be online. But you have to think about, because what most of them fail to understand, look, advertisement alone doesn't keep audience and listeners. They should know that. So it's about trust, it's about credibility, and so on. I work for the biggest media platform in the world, the global broadcaster, BBC, from 2011 up to date. I started working for DW from 2016 to date. So I know how it is. So nobody can tell me. I went to university and I studied journalism. and I did trainings, and I like DW would send me to many countries in Africa to do journalism, and I work with people. For example, BBC, many along ago, they were doing journalism even when I was not born. So, well, yeah, they know the trade, they know the craft. But Gambia, we have a problem. All what they're looking for, because you don't want to offend some people, because you might think they might withdraw their advertisement and so on. That's why you do that nonsense interviews. We are waiting for next interview with the government spokesperson. I understand he is currently in the US, but the way you do it with other people, you can call him, and I think he should come and retract that statement. Look, the suspect, whatever it is, that is a heinous crime. Nobody should take anybody's life. But again, like I've seen some few people saying, people should not succumb to public pressure to do something. And because there are so many doubts here, people the right person wasn't arrested. The right person is, well, that's what so many people are saying. So you do your investigation and come and tell us. So investigative journalists, I've spoken to some of them this morning. They will also start their investigation, and we will see how this event unfolded, and look at the sanity and the credibility and the trustworthiness of the witness, or the lady who claimed Kuatele Manonyares. So this is something that we will look into, because as a country, we cannot sit. Anytime they will just jump and say, like it happened in December. They claim that it was a coup, but the coup they claim, what they claim to be, it did not quite look like a coup. So Hanisai, people cast doubt on that. That case is still dragging. It's almost at the end of the climax. Is at the climax now. So this thing is, police will do their investigation, but journalists too will do their investigation.